Credit card debt is one of the most catastrophic yet commonly accepted plagues across America, with on average 61% of Americans reporting that they owe more than $5,000. It's a serious issue, and so many people, even people that I personally know, don't know how to escape the prison that credit card debt is. Today, we're going to talk about 3 different methods that you can use to pay off your debts. So let's get right into it. First of all, I'm not here to say that one method is better than the other. That being said, it is impossible to deny the credibility of Dave Ramsey himself, especially when it comes to paying off credit card debt. And the method that he prefers and talks about constantly is the Snowball method. The Snowball method is great for those who have debt across multiple credit cards, and it focuses all of your focus on one card at a time, going in order from the smallest debt to the largest debt. Let's break it down even further. The first thing you want to do is order your debts in order from smallest to largest by dollar amount, disregarding any interest rate that each card may have. What you want to do is pay the minimum payment on every single card except for the one that has the smallest dollar amount debt. By doing this, you avoid missing any payments and digging you into a deeper hole than you already are. Once all of that is done, the goal here is to focus everything, and I mean everything, into that smallest debt until it's completely eliminated. The idea is you focus on each debt one at a time, and as each smaller debt is paid off, you gain more financial power to then snowball towards the next smallest debt, until finally you have a massive snowball of financial power with only one large debt left, and you can tackle it once and for all. This method is great, it's proven to work, and is also known to be one of the most consistent in regards to delivering results. Not only that, but for your mental it's great because you can celebrate the smaller victories of eliminating each smaller debt. Now, before we get into the next method, I want to state that my goal here is to promote safe credit card practices and to teach people how to use them and maximize your natural spending habits. Ideally, we never let debt occur in the first place, right? But let's face it, life does happen, and the last thing that you want and the worst thing that can happen is for you to believe that it can't happen to you too. If you're getting value from this video, drop a like so the algorithm knows that it can potentially help other people too. Subscribe, and let's get right into the next method. Unlike the Snowball method, the Avalanche method, the second method on our list, focuses directly on the interest rates surrounding your debts. Like with the Snowball method, you're going to order your debts in order, but rather than focusing on the dollar amount, you're going to order them from highest to lowest regarding the interest rates. So from highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. And also, like with the Snowball method, you are going to pay the minimum payment on each debt except for, this time, the highest interest rate debt. Again, allowing you to not miss any payments, lowering your credit score, and digging you into a deeper hole. After all of those minimums are paid, you go all in onto the balance with the highest interest rate. Then once that is paid off, you go on to the next, and then on to the next, until all of the debt is gone. And theoretically, by eliminating the debt with the highest interest rate first, you should be able to tackle it before the interest rate has a chance to grow as fast, in turn allowing you to pay off your overall debt in a faster manner. According to some studies, however, this method can be a little bit more overwhelming than, say, the Snowball method, especially if the debt that has the higher interest rate also happens to be the debt that has the higher dollar amount. It may take a while for you to pay off that initial first debt, and mentally it may take a toll on you, and it's a little bit harder to stay consistent over a long period of time. The last method that I want to talk about is one that can be great for paying off debt on only one card, for example. What can happen a lot of the times, especially in times where people let a balance carry over from one month to the next, is that interest rates start to eat up your payments over time. And what I mean by that is, instead of paying off the amount that you spent on the card, your payments go towards the interest on the balance you owe, and the amount that you actually spent on the card doesn't ever go down, or at least goes down at a lot slower rate. For some people, this can lead to you making payments on that same card for years longer than you have to. And that is where balance transfer cards come in handy. A lot of the times, your cards that you get approved for will come with 0% APR on purchases made on that card for a limited amount of time. What you may not know is that sometimes these cards can also come with a 0% APR on balance transfers to that same card. This means that you can take money owed on a card that you are paying interest on, transfer that to what we're going to call a balance transfer card, and make sure that all of the money that you pay goes towards the balanced rather than the interest. With this method, I like to recommend cards that have 0 annual fee, along with 0% APR on both balance transfers and purchases made for as long of a time period as possible. I do have to warn you though that it is essential that within that time period you do pay off the entire balance, because what will happen is after that initial 0% APR period, the interest that you would have normally built up during that time hits you all at once. And that's not what you want. It'll dig you into, again, another deeper hole. You do have to sort of be careful when it comes to managing your debts. I know that was a lot of information that I broke down pretty quickly in a short period of time, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Ideally, as I always like to state, we don't get into any debt to begin with. We should always use our credit cards to reflect our natural spending habits. We should always pay off our statement balance on time and in full each time to never let the balance accrue interest over time. And if there's ever a scenario where a credit card would encourage you to spend above your needs, whether that be to hit a higher welcome bonus or to earn a lot more points, don't put yourself into a worse financial situation than you would be if you didn't have that card to begin with. I hope this video helped you out. If it did give you some value, that's great. If you made it this far into the video, you're awesome. Thank you all for watching regardless. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.